Greg Hardy came oh so close to getting Sam Bradford. And that might be the metaphor right here, is that Greg Hardy was on Carolina. They decided not to keep employing him anymore. They're undefeated. Cowboys decide to employ Greg Hardy. It still didn't wind up for a win for them last night. And there are people like me who believe he shouldn't be playing for the Dallas Cowboys. I've read what you wrote at MMQB. You are right. Greg Hardy has every right to be to work. But, does he have the right to be employed is what I'm saying.
Well, it feels that there's a question about it. But my whole point in what I wrote today is that I understand the outrage, and every bit of the outrage is deserved. I am repulsed by the guy. If I were an NFL owner and I desperately needed a pass rusher, a two-way defensive end, and I thought that was the difference between me going to the playoffs and being 7-9, and he was out there, I wouldn't touch him. I'd never sign him. But, Rich, I think the reason why I wrote what I wrote today is that I think an awful lot of the outrage we have is because we've seen the photos. We saw the video with Ray Rice, and we were absolutely outraged. We've seen the photos with Greg Hardy, and we're outraged. But there have been approximately 51 players who have been disciplined for domestic violence since the year 2000. And you cannot tell me that somewhere between a portion and a vast majority don't have or didn't do what these two guys did to the women in their lives. And yet the only reason that we're not outraged by Darrell Washington, by Philip Merling, by Ray McDonald to the same degree is because we haven't seen it. Mm-hmm. And yet those guys went on and played football, and people said, well, that guy, Ray McDonald was a different story because it was a very public thing. But the vast majority of these cases, we don't get outraged by. We just say, oh, well, he did his 2 games, now he's back. Hey, how you doing, Philip? I mean, that's what bothers me about this whole scenario. And so the fact that we're incredibly outraged by Ray Rice and then by Hardy, I think, honestly, I don't want to say it's disingenuous, but I do think that it's an inconsistency that I don't like. Now, the other thing involved here is that Hardy has been totally remorseless, and that drives people up a wall. It drives me up a wall, too. So while I have zero desire to see Greg Hardy play football, I also do not think that 32 NFL owners should be prevented from giving him a chance to play football.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern. On Audience.